All right, guys, happy Saturday. Just kind of bumming it, seat and HVAC style here on a Saturday. I got my Quint from Jaws t-shirt on. Haven't brushed my hair yet, but I wanted to show you guys how to factor in your overhead costs and how to figure out what you want to make on profit per employee per year. And the first little segment is going to be about that, about how to figure out what profit you want to make per hour per employee, and then I'm going to get into how you calculate your overhead and to get your break-even costs. So your break-even hourly costs, so you know how to what to charge on service calls, installations, etc. Per hour. So let's get into it, guys. Okay, guys, the point of this video is to come to this conclusion. Okay, so what are we looking at here? We are looking at your estimated hours that your employee is going to work, or estimated days that your employee is going to work per year. Okay, so taking out weekends, vacations, etc. A good number to shoot for there is 220, and then you times that by your 8 hours times 1,760 hours per year times X. What do you want this number to be? What do you want your employee to make you in profit per hour per year? Okay, and that'll be your profits. Yeah, profit per employee per year. So that's a number that you need to come up with. Okay, you need to know what you want to make on top of your break even, which I'm going to show you that. So everything after this short little intro video is going to be your break even number that I'm going to show you. Then you would add this number on top. So let me show you an example. So you got your yearly days worked per employee times their hours would be your 1,760. Let's say on top of your break-even number, you're going to put $30 per hour. So that employee is going to make you $52,800 a year. Now that's pretty extreme. Especially if you have a big company, you're probably not going to make that much per employee. So that number would be smaller. For me as a one-man band, I can add somewhere $30 to $40 because I want to make that. I want to make that profit and put that back into the company. I might need to buy a new van next year. So let me know if that makes sense to you, and let's get started with some of these other numbers. I'm going to show you your break evens and how that correlates with your overhead, etc. So let's get into it. Okay, guys, so we got three different scenarios here on how you would calculate your hourly rate for the year for your HVAC business. And some companies tweak this for different times a year. Sometimes they tweak it for when if they need to lay somebody off, then this formula changes. You can change your hourly rate, and a smart company does this. So let's go over this. So let's say you have a small company that's got 3 employees. Let's say your yearly overhead, that's everything that you have to pay, is $626,716. I just came up with random numbers. That's why you need to know what you're spending every year. As soon as you know this number, you can do this formula. So let's say your guys work 220 hours a year. Okay, so if you were working 5-day weeks, sometimes we work Saturdays too, times 52, that would be 260. You got to factor in vacation, and sometimes guys just ain't worth a shit for a day. That's honest. So 220 is a good number for me. That's what I would put if I had some employees, which I do not. So you take that, divide that by your man hours per year, and that would give you your daily expenditure on that employee. Okay, now if you have 3 employees, you got to take that number and divide it by 3 because you're dispersing that throughout 3 guys, right? So you take your 3 employees, so that number comes out to $949.33, 8-hour days. And obviously we work more or less than this sometimes, but this is a good average to have. And then that gives you your hourly rate of $118. That's a pretty good structured company there. If you're able to put your hourly rate at $118, that's pretty darn good. So also you got to figure what you want to make for profit too. So this is your break even is what I'm trying to give you here. I'm not giving you what your hourly rate should be. Let me show you a scenario for me as a one-man band. So this isn't me. This is numbers not correct. I'm not going to divulge my stuff here. But so let's say my expenditures were 317,000. I tend to work more than if I worked for somebody. So I got to factor in all that time. So let's say 240 hours throughout the year comes out to 1320.83 per day, and then divide that by 8 hours, and that gives me 165.10. Now that would be my break-even number. So that's not structured very well either. And I guarantee you that my numbers are better than this, because I don't charge that much and I do very well. So anyway, that's just so then you'd want to figure out what profit you want to make throughout the year, what you want to pay yourself, and you'd put that on top of that. Then you'd average that out by your 240 work days, and then that would give you your hourly. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then your large company, let's say they make their overheads 5,176,500, and let's say those guys average out at 240. I think this is actually supposed to be 220. So let's say that's 220. I changed it, and then that would be 23,529.55 per day, and then they divide that by. I didn't put it here. That's 12 employees, okay? I don't know. That's not really a large company, but larger, okay? So divide that by 12 guys. That'd be 1960.79. Divide that by 8 hours. So that'd be 245.09 per man hour. So this would not be a very successful company if that's how they were structured. Now let me show you how that changes. Let's say they made a little bit more money and they had more employees, okay? And I'll show you how that changes their hourly rate, and that would be a better structured company. So let me show you that. Okay, guys, let's look at this large company again. So let's say they went through some retooling and they restructured their company, and they were able to become more efficient. And that's why it's so important to keep your overhead down. So let's say their overhead burden per year is 5,576,231, okay? Let's divide that by our 220 days. So per day, their overhead is $25,346.50, okay? That sounds like a huge number, doesn't it? But I mean, for a company of 20, that can easily happen. Figure payroll and everything else, vans, gas, etc. So let's say they now have 20 employees. So their overhead didn't go up a ton, but they still have, then they have 8 more employees. So that's cool. Now they're going to make more money, right? So you divide that by 20, so that's $1,267.32 per employee overhead per day. So then what you do is you take that divided by 8, and now look what that did to their hourly rate, or their hourly break even, okay? So they figure out what they need to make on profit on top of that. That's after paying all the employees, doing everything, what goes into the business. So this number doesn't have to go up that much if you factor it out through a whole year. They're going to make plenty of money on profit to put back into the company. And that's why it's important for companies to be efficient. That way they can offer profit sharing and all kinds of other stuff. This number includes all your medical benefits and everything too, so you don't worry about any of that. This is just money icing on the cake, and I would assume that the owner's salary is factored into this. Everybody, management, whatever. So just want to show you guys how that's done. And yeah, it's pretty cool. One-man band's slightly different. This number's, I'll do a different scenario for this at some point, but let's say this is me and I'm charging 165. I could probably up this to, 200 an hour, and that's 35. So I'm just icing on the cake. I'm already paying myself. I'm making money. This is just profit that would be going back into the company. See how that works? So, yeah, let me know if you guys think this stuff's interesting. I can get more into the numbers. I actually do some real world scenarios because I know what mine is, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm totally transparent about that. So let me know, guys. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, good morning. Seton HVAC here. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 4 different scenarios here on company size, and why it's important to keep your overhead down and make the company more profitable and pay your employees more money. So let's start with the first one here. So a 3-man or woman company, just a small little company. I'm going to show you that scenario. I'm going to show you a 1-man band, 1-woman band company, 12-man company, and then a 20-man company, how that overhead factors into your hourly rate, your break even, basically. So that's what I'm showing you. I shouldn't put hourly rate there. That's your break even number that you need to make per hour. So I'm going to show you all 4 of these scenarios. So what's important when it comes to keeping costs down, making your company more profitable, and making it more money, and your employees more money. So efficiency is most important. Everybody must be efficient. That's, all these guys think that their boss is being a jerkwad, but honestly, if you're efficient with your work and aren't wasting time, you're going to make more money. That's just the way it is. I've owned 3 or 4 businesses, so I understand it wholeheartedly. It's not me being a jerk. It's just the way it is. So that efficiency equals lower overhead, okay? Sorry guys, got distracted by the little one. Every time I do a Saturday video, that happens. So efficiency equals lower overhead, okay? We're trying to keep those costs down as far as just, things breaking. There's all kinds of factors in an HVAC business. Trucks breaking down, make sure you get the oil changed. Are you organized in your van? Just little things that, and this is why it's important for you to be efficient, because not only does it keep the overhead down, it gives the boss a little more meat on the bone. If he's a generous guy like me, he can give you guys more bonuses, spiffs, all kinds of stuff. So efficiency is key to keeping the overhead down. In turn, that's going to keep, the hourly rate down that you're charging the customer. It's going to give you more business. So I'm going to break it down for you how, these 4 different scenarios, and show you why it's important to be efficient and keep that overhead down, because it keeps your hourly rate down, which is very important for getting more business. Doesn't mean you're cheap. It means you're efficient, okay? So let's go over that right now.